position, and nobody upper in this series. This is about competing every single possession, finding different kind of advantages in the margins that only competitors can find.
Eric Spoelstra, Game 1, Heat and Nuggets. Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern on ABC TV. Celtics president Brad Stevens confirms today Joe Mazzulla will be coaching the team again next season. In his first year, Mazzulla's team won 57 games for the two-seed in the East, today, losing in Game 7 of the conference finals against the Heat. Three-time Pro Bowl punter Brett Kern announces his retirement after 15 years. He played 13 years with the Titans, who cut him before last season started. Kern appeared in 6 games with the Eagles last season.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are back live in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is always heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link so you can join us in the chat, and, of course, get all the alerts when new content comes out on the channel. It's a Thursday, and it's a short Thursday.
It is. It's if you're watching on YouTube, you say I'm not wearing a hat. That means I have to go somewhere wearing my big boy pants.
Jeremy's got to be officially official, and so he's teased out the mullet. It keeps getting worse.
It's a mane.
It is.
Put him up. Put him up.
That's a torture ticket. We got to make Jeremy dress up as the Cowardly Lion to go somewhere in public.
I would do it. But, you know what that's going to cost. It requires a free hug shirt, and it puts you downtown Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy. Glad to be back from the mini vacation. From the start of the week, Jeremy, you're hosting the awards banquet tonight for the Asheville Police Department. Is that correct?
Yeah. If you told me as a kid that I'd be standing in front of a room full of police officers, my first immediate response would have been, the hell did I do? But here we are, 36 years old, and they went, well, that guy.
Yeah.
Me and news gnome Mark Starling.
So today's program will be ending at 4:30.
I can't wait for the first person that asks if Mark is my defense attorney. If you've never seen Mark, he's about a foot shorter than me, and he'll have his jacket and all the things. Look like he should have a rolling suitcase to defend me against whatever bad thing I have done.
Whatever crimes you have done. We're glad to be back from the mini break, and during that mini break, we found out who was going to be playing Jeremy's 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
Breathe it in, man.
In the NBA Finals.
We have spoken it into existence, and
Game
here
one,
we are.
Game 1 tonight in Denver. Jeremy will have his pick coming up for you at the end of this hour in the Green on Green, as always, but we all know which way he's going.
I'll give you a hint. I can tell you what every one of those segments is going to sound like between now and the end of this series. Nuggets, buy $1 billion. Bring it in, man. Let's go.
He's only been trying to speak this into existence for 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. Let him enjoy the moment.
Well, sometimes when you rub the genie's lamp and you ask for a wish and you talk like I do, you got to clarify what you said.
I thought at one point in the weekend, we were going to have history made in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 7, Jason Tatum was going to show up and make history and complete the comeback after being down 3-0 to the Miami Heat.
And they did. And then they duped themselves.
They did. Jason Tatum stumbles and tweaks the ankle in the first damn possession of the game, and then that was the death
I'm going
of
to
the
be honest
Boston
with you.
Celtics.
Jason Tatum could have had wings. It wouldn't have changed squat.
Miami comes out and wins Game 7. Now it is Game 1 tonight of the NBA Finals.
52-80, baby. Let's go.
I don't
Mile
look.
high.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. And I know this is gonna ruffle some feathers because we got some Heat fans in the chat.
I've talked to two of them in the 5-day layoff. One of them texted me a GIF of Jimmy Butler with a bunch of laughing faces, which was followed by Nuggets by a billion. The other one said, "Man, I'm glad we're here. I don't like how this is getting ready to go."
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to wrap my head around how the Nuggets don't win this series, win it comfortably, and win it in a sweep. I mean, maybe they can hit. Maybe the Miami Heat can just go absolutely like Game 3. All right, Tyler Hero maybe comes back and not playing for 2 months. He finds some magic and they can shoot some threes, and maybe they can eke out a win at home.
Here's my
But
question.
I doubt it.
Here's my question. If Tyler Hero comes back, and that is an if at this point, who does he guard? Because I'll be honest with you, I hadn't coached in a minute, and it's been even longer since I played. But if I was the one that looked over and saw Tyler Hero, I really hope he wears that hat that he was wearing in Game 5, where he looked like Eminem's brother. Just please wear that. I need you to wear that everywhere you go from now on. I would be looking at that going, ball. Give me the ball. Yeah, he's on me. Don't care. Ball.
Right.
Ball.
You got to put him on Jamal Murray? You can't do that.
Woo. Yee. Yee.
You going to make him try to guard Porter?
Who's,
I mean, you put him on
8 inches taller
You put
than
him on what, KCP?
Well, I mean, that's the biggest problem in this series is, yes, you have Jimmy Butler, who is a great defender. He can only defend one guy. So, Sloan Jordan with a great point in our YouTube comments. The last time that the Miami Heat won a game in Denver was 2017.
Really?
That was quite a ways ago. Now, they only play one game a year out there. But I mean, look, Miami, you should be very proud that you got here. I have talked about disrespected Miami Heat. I had you plus a bunch to beat Boston. Said that in Green on Green at the beginning of the series. The disrespect is real. Thank you for paying that off because I had some angina going into Game 7 going, man, I've been really counting on that to hit because some others have not.
Well, thankfully, in the first 5 minutes of Game 7, you knew how that was going to go.
Yeah, I didn't sweat Game 7 much. That's a lot like what I feel Tank Spencer's dating life was. You worked so hard just to get to the precipice where the girl talks to you, and then you respond with, I'm Tank. Hi. Why are you a grown man wearing a jersey in public?
It's actually an apt description.
I'm well aware of that.
So yeah, Miami Heat fans, it's been fun. Enjoy the fact that you're here, and don't look for much else. Don't look for much support, I guess, from this here tandem.
Well, and the Nuggets have been just very accommodating of me because I am one of the longest standing I told you so's in all of sports media. So they may have my address and there might be some cool stuff that shows up at my door when it gets printed. And if they don't win this, I have a feeling they're going to send me 80 of them because I have a feeling they're already printed.
Right.
Hey, here's some NBA champion 2023 Denver Nuggets.
I mean,
swag.
Look, I know it's been a fun story. It's been a fun story with the Miami Heat. I mean, they prove that you can make it out of at least the Eastern Conference routinely by playing elite defense.
Mm-hmm.
Something that Denver doesn't do, but can Miami take advantage offensively is the question that I have. Like the whole Caleb Martin thing in the Boston series, like he stepped up,
he should have been the MVP. And frankly, I'm angry that he wasn't.
Right, like I went Caleb Martin, who is new team who dis. He used to be with the Charlotte Hornets.
And his brother still is.
And, of course, yes, they went to NC State. So North Carolina fans are very familiar with the Martin boys. But I mean, I don't expect that to continue. I don't expect him to trot out there and average 21 points a game in this series.
Well, I've laughed at the X Factor talk because you get into this section of the year and it gets very difficult to, conspire things to talk about, and you get this ridiculous layoff. It's incredibly stupid that game 2 of the series is not until Sunday. But this talk of, Nikola Jokic is the worst defender that has played Bam Adebayo in these playoffs. Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with you. Here's the problem. Bam Adebayo's range is from about here to that door right there. So I think Joker was going to be just fine. And I channel an old Ron White joke of, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. Because you go down the other way, Bam is an elite rim protector.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see what happens when you pull him out to 25 feet. Because this ain't my first rodeo watching this, and I know what's getting ready to happen.
Well, that's the other question that I have about this series is that how is this going to go defensively for Miami? I mean, are they gonna have Bam on Jokic?
Who else you gonna
the
put
entire
on?
time?
You gonna chuck Kevin Love on
That's
him?
the question that I have.
Please do that.
Because
Please let me see that 42 lineup across from Nikola Jokic.
I mean, if you bring Bam away from the basket to guard Jokic,
You don't even make a rebound.
Right, but
Because you got Aaron Gordon down low that's going to pulverize you.
But I can fully see within a short amount of time, Jokic is going to get Bam in foul trouble, and you're going to have to sit him.
Well, if you have to sit him, they genuinely have nobody.
Right, then you're going to have giant stretches where who guards Jokic if Bam's off the floor? But you're going to have to do it at some point.
Highsmith, I think that's the only one that's got even vaguely the size. Kevin Love's just not athletic enough. And, I mean, and the reason we're talking about this, there's no doubt that's Denver's. We're going in, and in that first 6-minute run, until that first media timeout, I want 2 fouls on Bam.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care where they come from.
Yeah.
I don't care if we set him in the high ball screen. He has to try to chase Jokic. Then he's behind. Everybody runs out of his way because it's a house running at you, and Bam picks up the ticky-tack foul at the basket. I don't see any other way it goes. Now, if there's somebody that can conspire it, it's Eric Spoelstra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the bodies going, you have 3 players that are even dressing for this game that are above 6'8". And I just don't. Danny Finsfan said, could Nikola Jovic, he plays for the Heat, he is 6 fouls. He could go out there and hit Nikola Jokic as hard as he wanted to 6 times.
It's not going to stop anything.
No. I mean, it's kind of like a prize fight. You get a couple good shots in, and you wear somebody down. This is an interesting schematic series because I mean, Miami was I think the best team in the NBA, opposing points per game to point guards.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's not even really Jamal Murray. I think the 2 big problems you're going to have are the 2 big guys. Jokic is a problem for everybody. Yes, Bam is an elite defender, but he's an elite defender at the rim. And then you get Aaron Gordon. I don't know who you're planning on throwing at him, but whoever it is going to get dunked on more than once.
Is that Jimmy? Is that Jimmy's assignment?
It's Caleb Martin. That's because they're starting small. From every projection I've seen, the thought is that they'll start Strus, Vincent, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, and Bam. And if that's the case, Aaron Gordon is going to feast when the starters are on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Chauncey Major had a really good question. Who's going to guard Jimmy Butler? Let me answer that for you. Aaron Gordon is the answer to that. He's every bit as big. He's almost as fast. He's actually bigger. And he is a very physical defender that just did a whale of a number on LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a weird take on this series, and I think we've done Miami a disservice.
Okay.
We got to take a break real quick. But I feel like the setup of this series is lending itself to one very specific letdown, and we did it. Not the 2 of us, media on the whole. We did this, and it comes from a discussion I heard between Stephen A. Smith and Chris Mad Dog Russo and J.J. Redick, who was there. And the more I've thought about it, I think you've set Miami up for failure.
8:30 tonight, Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Miami Heat at. You want to say it?
The 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
We'll continue the discussion coming up after the break. Also, later on in this hour, in the top of the 4 o'clock hour, we were requested last week to do Mount Rushmores for the NFL teams, and so we will begin that today with your favorite division in the NFC South. That's next.
Ready for an unforgettable day. Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. Your favorite iHeartRadio stations are offering incredible one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences you won't want to miss. Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to see what our partners have in store for you.
Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry is bringing iHeartRadio Access Day to you. How about $1,500 off Invisalign or $3.99 Zoom teeth whitening? That's a 20% discount. Look for these deals and more at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
How we feel in the morning sets the scene for our entire day. That's why Daily Harvest is a game changer. Daily Harvest delivers delicious smoothies, flatbreads, harvest bowls, and more right to your door, all built on fruits and veggies. With easy-to-prep options, Daily Harvest keeps your freezer stocked with good food that's ready when you are. Daily Harvest works directly with farmers to source the best ingredients and freezes them at peak ripeness to lock in flavor and nutrients. Right now, receive $50 off your first Daily Harvest box, plus free shipping. Redeem offer at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Introducing Swiffer's Best Clean, the new Swiffer Power Mop. It's an all-in-one cleaning system that gives you the scrubbing power of a mop and bucket without the hassle. And today only, you could win a year's supply of Swiffer Power Mop. Just go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to enter. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com for your chance to win a year's supply of the new Swiffer Power Mop, so you can clean your home in half the time. Mop smarter with the new Swiffer Power Mop.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN. Asheville, Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight. Miami against Denver. And Flostradamus, how has the media set up the Heat for failure?
Where does Jimmy Butler fall in the he is a top what player in the NBA?
15?
I think you're too high.
Too high? Okay.
There are people that think he's a top 10 player. And I keep hearing this talk about, we'll play off Jimmy Butler. Okay, let's be real honest about this. The fact he was the MVP of that last series is one of the bigger jokes I've ever seen. He was great in the first 3 games. Yep, and then he was almost the reason that you lost the following 4. Caleb Martin bailed you out in Game 7 with a game you'll never see from him again. And I like the kid. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the league. But then I started hearing this talk. And Stephen A. Smith and Chris Mad Dog Russo on First Take the other day were going through top players in the league and where Jaylen Brown fits in. And we just – Jimmy Butler. Is Jimmy Butler better than Jaylen Brown? He's at times.
I would say
but if you average it out –
sure.
That's not what I asked. Is he a better player? Because here's the thing. Jimmy can only defend one player. And that's what we continuously go to is Jimmy such an elite defender. Okay. Do you realize how easy that is to mitigate in this series? Because if you put Jimmy on Jamal Murray, good luck guarding Michael Porter Jr. He's going to shoot 30 times over dudes that are 3 inches shorter than me. Michael Porter's 6'9". Mm-hmm. I think he's 6'10", but I'm giving you what the media guide lists him at. It gets into this problem of he's too easy to avoid. That's the reason there have been so many of these series. Look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia looked at Jimmy Butler and said, nope, we're good. We'll go James Harden. Think about what I just said. Why? Because when you get into this, team defense is a huge thing, and Miami does that really well. This can be a track meet. Because if you think Miami's going to shut Denver down, they'll be the first team that's done it all year long. So you're going to get into a track meet with Gabe Vincent and Max Struss.
Duncan Robinson.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Because every one of them, but they can score. You're not wrong. They have to defend somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I think Jimmy's a great player. He's had a great playoffs. He is, I'm not going to say the only reason they're here, but he is the primary reason they're here. Boston figured it out in 3 games. He wasn't Hemi Butler, and the fact that he trademarked Hemi buckets is.
Did he really?
He did, and that just makes me look at this and go, I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy. But it's almost like
you finally come to my side that the whole Hemi stuff is ridiculous.
You realize it's been a joke the whole time, right? Because I think it's so stupid that we do that. Everybody's him. Okay, just can we stop with? I don't need to go. I don't need to go down that road. No good can come from that.
Now, you were talking about the offensive efficiency of Denver. I had to pull this stat today. So in the regular season, per 100 possessions, Nikola Jokic or Himola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets had 124.2 points per 100 possessions. That's a lot. In the playoffs, the 15 games of the playoffs, it's been 123.1. To put that in perspective, that's 2 points per 100, 2 full points per 100 possessions than the Golden State Warriors when they had Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Like, this is one of the all-time great offensive scoring teams that we've ever seen.
There's an article on ESPN.com right now of it was basically phrased as the car ride that changed the course of the NBA. When Nikola got into better shape and figured out, I can't just be the biggest pass-first big man in the league. And he learned, I have to take over games because nobody can stop me. And they almost had to pull that out of him because he's a very meek guy. He doesn't like being the center of attention, and his response was basically, I like being the pass-first guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to, but what if we got you in shape and we just see where it goes? And that's where you're at now. So you have this, it's almost impossible to defend because you get into a situation like this where, yes, Miami has a great low post defensive presence. What does Bam do so well? He is a goal defending funnel. Because what the objective is to get people to go into the lane to Bam Adebayo, and he is really good at blocking shots down there. Nikola Jokic has absolutely no intention of doing that. None. I'm going to sit at the top of the key, be the initiator of pick and roll offense, and you're going to have to pick your poison. And every time I do this, I'm looking for whoever the bad defender on the floor is, and you're never not going to have one of those. So this is a really interesting series to me.
Interesting as in Denver's going to show how elite they are. And those who believed in the myth of playoff Hemi, but like Chauncey Major, greatest NBA players of all time. Number 1, 2023, Jimmy Butler. Number 2, MJ. Number 3, Kobe. Number 4, LeBron. Number 67, Nikola Jokic.
I love that people are doing this because I can tell you there is a big narrative in the room of somehow we're still the most underappreciated team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're on the big stage. It's not just we're getting Laker fans. It's not just we're getting West Coast. We're the only game in town. And now we're going to prove something to you. Because Denver's mindset right now is not we're going to win. We're going to win this title. And we're happy. No, this is a dynasty.
Yeah.
We're watching Golden State has
Not
fallen
1,
apart.
not 2, not 3.
I was trying not to do that, but I'm glad that you did. So, I mean, look, I'm not trying to throw shade at Miami. I'm not any of that. I told you when that last series was 3-0, and it wasn't because Jaylen Brown said, "Don't let us get one." Yeah, you see how stupid that sounds now? Yeah, you got 1 and 2 and 3, and then you dutied yourself in Game 7, which is kind of becoming a trend. The one thing Miami didn't want was to get run and have to go 7 games, and then you fly back. You fly directly into Denver, so you haven't even been home yet, and now you're playing in altitude. There's a reason this team is so hard to beat at home. They're used to this. You're not.
Yeah, your conditioning is completely different when you're at that altitude.
And, I mean, Denver's just – they're acclimated to it. Mm-hmm. They haven't lost a game in this building since March. That kind of tells me everything. Oh, and by the way, Miami's not good on the road. I don't know why that's news to people.
Yeah, the only hope that you really have in the series is, or in this game, I guess, is that the layoff would have affected. That too much rest is a bad thing. We hear this all the time. Too much rest and a team coming off a heater, like
historically, that has much more effect when you're on the road than when you're at home. Because you're still shooting at your basket. Yeah. All the sight lines are exactly what you're used to.
It's a flimsy belief.
No doubt.
Right.
It's one of those things, it's almost like birds, that people have just been programmed to believe that they're real, and so they just do. Government elections, a bunch of things that are just fraudulent and not accurate. I mean, where do you think this 11-day layoff, where do you think they've been practicing? Oh, yeah. In the building that you're getting ready to play in.
Right. So 8:30 tonight, Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets is the first step to a 4-game sweep.
Oh, to the coronation of what I've been saying for years, and I have put it into the air and manifested a reality.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
Now, for those of you in the chat that are NBA talk, well, it's the only sport actively happening, so we're going to get into Mount Rushmores. This will be a little series that we do. We've got a couple more of those starting next week. But there is something we do need to discuss. Because the last time we were with you, which was on Friday, we told you that the early bird special for our Ultimate Beer City's Best Fantasy Football Draft weekend, the early bird was going to end yesterday. Well, while we didn't have a show, we had a couple kerfuffles. Apparently a couple people didn't. They technology like Tank Spencer, which is understandable, as you do. So we are going to extend the early bird special through Sunday. We are not extending it again. And here's why. We have now opened it to Cash App and Venmo. So if you can't figure that one out, I mean, hand a bird money and tell him to bring it to us. I got nothing beyond that.
So some kerfuffles with the PayPal system are giving you a couple of extra days to get in on the early bird special on the Ultimate Fantasy Draft weekend.
Somebody messaged me on Facebook last night at about 10:30, and they had gone so far down the PayPal rabbit hole that I couldn't get them out of it. And I went, that, my friend, is a skill, because I set all of this up for it to be really easy. So the Cash App and the Venmo are both at the Sportsocracy or Bunny Sign Sport, whatever it is. And you can still use the buttons on our PayPal. But to get the early bird special, you will have to go through that now because we have shut it down off YouTube.
Because Jeremy has official duties coming up later on this evening at the APD Awards Banquet, where our show's cut short. We're going to be with you for just another hour here, signing off at 4:30. But you're not going to miss the most important message of the day. Don't do crimes is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Breezy northeast winds continue to keep us in and out of the clouds. There's not much on weather radar, just straight shower tonight, 55 degrees. We'll see some bright weather Friday, some sunshine, 81, and the chance for some thunderstorms this weekend, first weekend of June, 70s and 80s across western North Carolina. Much of next week looks dry for us. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. It's finally here. iHeartRadio Access Day has arrived. If you've been waiting for some amazing deals and unique experiences, today is your day. So make sure to check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
Temu.com, that's TEMU.com, is giving you an exclusive opportunity to unlock a $100 spending spree on their app today only on iHeartRadio Access Day. Temu.com is the most downloaded app on the App Store, and this is your chance to get a $100 coupon bundle you can use on millions of items. All you have to do is download the Temu app, enter a promo code, and you'll have $100 you can use to treat yourself to the latest fashion, home goods, or beauty products. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today for your promo code. Then get started on your $100 Temu.com shopping spree.
Good news, today is iHeartRadio Access Day. Get ready to experience some one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences all day long.
You could be joining Colin Cowherd in L.A. to experience a live broadcast of The Herd with Colin Cowherd. You could even hop in his chair to take a pic. All part of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win. Today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Be sure to stay tuned for more throughout the day.
Want the best burger in America? Culver's was voted #1 burger in America by the Harris Poll. Get 2 Culver's Double Deluxe Butter Burgers for only $8 with Access Day code voted America's Best Burger when ordering. Valid at Culver's on Airport Road.
It's big, 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 big. Our iHeartRadio Access Day, we call it that because it's access to great stuff, access to deals you can't beat, and some really cool experiences too.
You could be joining Ryan Seacrest for a VIP experience at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas, including tickets for both nights, all part of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win. Today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
This is the Sports Accuracy on ESPN Asheville, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes. Let's go to Akron, Ohio for our first one of the day, where a man escaped from prison. He escaped from prison on Tuesday morning. It did not take long for him to be recaptured, I guess, by local police. Jason Lyle Conrad was on the run for just a little over 24 hours. He was recaptured by the U.S. Marshals Service for the Northern District of Ohio on Wednesday morning after the 39-year-old, well, look, here's the thing. You escape from prison. There's some things that you miss, while you're inside, some things that you don't have access to.
No good can come from me responding to that, so I'm not going to.
Some things you just can't live without. And so the guy...
I'm not sure I love where this is headed.
The guy got a craving. He got a craving, and he decided that he must satisfy that craving. So he hopped on the nearest transportation that he could, which I'm guessing is probably, I'm totally making this up, but it looks like a 10-year-old's bicycle. and he pedaled himself down to the local McDonald's at 8:30 in the morning, where he asked in the drive-thru on his bicycle. Oh, by the way, the bolo has gone out all over the community of, hey, be on the lookout for this guy with neck tattoos and face piercings, and oh, he has a very significant limp as well that you'll be able to recognize. I don't know if the bike was jerking while he was pedaling, but somehow they recognized the limp and the tattoos. He was asking for $1 hamburger, which, I mean, I guess this guy's been locked up for 5 years because he doesn't know about the whole Joe Biden inflation thing.
Oh, yeah, the dollar burger doesn't exist anymore. That bad boy is $2.99.
Indeed. So he asked for 8:30 in the morning, asked for $1 hamburger. He was told, first off, we don't sell dollar hamburgers anymore. 1999 called. And two, it's 8:30 in the damn morning. McDonald's does not serve burgers at 8:30 in the morning.
Some McDonald's do, just to be clear.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
There are certain McDonald's that have all-day menus of both sides.
Well, those are bougie McDonald's, and they don't exist around here.
Those are
and
sweet
they don't
McDonald's.
Count. So anyway, yeah, they called 911, said, hey, we think we got the guy you're looking for, and sure enough, police spotted him about an hour later at 9:30 in the morning trying to get away on his bicycle. Hot.
So my story has some visual aids. Many of you, especially if you were around about Tank and I's age, will remember this. So.
I'm ready to go.
Duck hunt.
I'm ready to go. I'm 2 feet away from the screen.
Duck hunt was just an integral part of our childhood. Well, 25-year-old David Joseph Del Sandro apparently really has a fondness for that game because he still had a Super Nintendo an NES
regular Nintendo, yeah,
with the gun,
the 8-bit system,
the NES, no Super in this one, because he still had the gun. So as you do, he made the I'll say he didn't really see the forest for the trees here, decision to spray paint the gun, cut the cord off, and rob a convenience store with it.
With the duck hunt gun.
So, of course, goes in with a mask, a wig, and a hoodie and demands money from the register. Somehow it works, in spite of the fact that when he spray painted the gun, I don't know if he ran out of spray paint. I don't know. He painted the entire shell of the gun black, but he left the trigger orange. So I don't know how many of you are big fans of the Bang Bangs. There's no gun on the planet that's a real Bang Bang that has an orange trigger.
Really?
Not a plastic one, no. I don't believe that's a thing.
And not one that says Nintendo down the side?
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to say is you should really lay a second coat of spray paint on the Nintendo because that is visible on the gun as well. But he left it in the waistband of his pants. So, the attendant at the gas station was looking out for themselves. You take the money, you go. $300. So Mr. Del Sandro gets his money, walks out of the gas station. What would an intelligent criminal do from there? Get away!
Sure.
He went to the parking lot next door and was counting the money in said parking lot when the police found him with the Nintendo gun still in the waistband of his pants.
Oh.
Sorry, it didn't have the dog. You got to have the dog.
God, I wanted to shoot that dog.
Well, he wanted to, too. Couldn't do it. He is currently being held in the York County Detention Center without bond.
That's so great. What an idiot.
I just don't know, how you come up with that plan? I'm going to go hit the Piggly Wiggly. What are you going to do it with? This piece of plastic right here.
I mean, it looks like a gun.
That'll do it.
It looks like a gun. I mean, I want to know what the response time is. What is the police response time for this? I mean, are they next door? Was this hey, we called, and 15 seconds later, the cops were there at the convenience store? Because this guy was still in the parking lot counting his money when the cops arrived.
I don't so, this guy obviously is not a rocket surgeon. So I don't really care unless the response time was 8 seconds.
That's what I'm saying.
Which would only make this funnier is if the cop was sitting at the gas station when you went, I'm going to go full duck hunt. And then you just went next door and went, let's count how much money's I made.
I mean, maybe he wasn't, at the gas station, but he was certainly a couple of blocks away. I can't imagine that it was very long. Like, if this is several minutes have taken place, then you deserve to go to prison.
Oh, I mean, this is...
You should count better. I mean, that's...
it's certainly faster.
Right.
I just, I look at criminals and I go, how long did it take you to come up with that? Because you had to think about this for a while. Unless you just had a duck hunt game and you went, I am tired of this game. It won't let me shoot the dog, so I'm cutting the cord, and then I'm going to spray paint the gun. And then at some point, you would think that part of your brain where, that intelligence is held. The intelligence. Yeah. We all have some. Obviously not everybody has as much as others.
Where's common sense ain't common in the
you would think at some point you would go, this idea is stupid.
Indeed it
Not
was.
This guy.
Don't do crimes. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, and we were asked last week before last, at some point in the recent past, we were asked to do NFL Mount Rushmores. So today, we're going to start that series with the NFC South. So this is Mount Rushmore. Who you putting on the wall? Players, coaches, owners, city officials, maybe. I don't know.
Anybody that's affiliated with the organization is on the table.
Yes. So,
and I figure we should start with your team.
Oh,
because there's almost no shot that you're not going to say it himself at me.
Okay.
Because I feel like there are two that are just no doubters.
Okay.
Warren Sapp is a no doubter.
No doubt.
Derek Brooks is a no doubter.
No doubt.
It's from there that it gets a little more problematic for me.
Mm-hmm.
You're the fan.
Yep.
I believe you should at least have the latitude to give your two first.
Okay. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, those are two of my four.
Mm-hmm.
My other two are Leroy Selman, who was the first great that we ever had in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history, and then Tony Dungy.
Yep, I don't have either one of those two.
You did it wrong.
And I knew.
Then you did it wrong.
Well, but did I though? Because my other two, and one of them you're really going to have a problem with, John Lynch.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't think you were going to have much of a problem with that one.
No, I mean, that's fine.
And the fourth one is Thomas Edward Brady Jr. the fourth. And I can't physically believe that you would argue that.
No, he can't be. He can't.
Why? Why can he not be?
You spent one good year with the team. I mean, okay, so they went to the playoffs the second year.
You've won 2 Super Bowls. All right. I gave you two, actually 3, very important members of that Super Bowl. Now, Tony Dungy didn't win squat of them, which is why I heard that, and I had a funny feeling you were going to do that too. I heard that name and went, no. Because I'll be honest with you, John Gruden should probably be there before Tony does. But Tony was the one that put the defense in place and didn't win squat.
100%. It didn't win squat. I mean, he got him to the playoffs. Granted, we didn't win in the playoffs. We got him to an NFC championship game.
Rex Ryan got us to the playoffs. Does that mean Rex Ryan should be on our Mount Rushmore?
No, you don't have one. It's
it's Joe.
It's Joe Namath.
It's Joe Namath.
End of message for
it's
people.
Joe Namath, Joe's 2 daughters, maybe all 6 of Joe's grandkids. That's the Jets Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, no, there's no. I'm not doing Tom Brady. Tom Brady spent 3 years with this franchise. The last one is extremely forgettable. The first one was great, awesome. I'm not putting you on there. Is he the greatest quarterback in Tampa Bay history? Sure. I don't care. I don't care because the identity. This is the idea. Like, think of Mount Rushmore in America.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are the leaders. These are the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady's not on that list.
100% is.
No.
You won 2 Super Bowls, and Tom was almost exclusively the reason for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets a spot.
Yeah, no.
Tom gets a spot.
No.
It's just the way it is.
No, sir.
I'll give you Leroy Selman, who his entire claim to fame, I think they won 9 games total.
Mm-hmm.
So I struggle with that one.
I mean, he was the best defensive end in football for an extended period of time.
On the worst team in the NFL.
That's fine.
So
doesn't matter. You don't have to win to be a great player, right?
Well, I feel like if we throw this out to a poll, you're not going to like how it goes. Because Tom Brady to me, was probably the first one that had to go there.
No. He wasn't. He's not even.
Warren Sapp was the only one I even thought about.
He's in the top 10 for me.
Oh,
8, maybe. I mean, because I'm going John Lynch before him. I'm going Rondé Barber before him. I'm going Hardy Nickerson before him.
Oh, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said out loud.
No.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Mike Allstott.
I think Hardy Nickerson belongs on the Jaguars Mount Rushmore before he belongs in Tampa Bay. When you weren't the 7th best player on any defense that you played on, it's kind of hard for me to – you could have said Levante David there, and I would have gone, that makes more sense.
Who was the better player on that defense in the 1990s? I would love to know the answer.
Nickerson came along with Brooks.
No, he didn't. He was there way before them.
Derek Brooks was drafted in 1991. He came out of Florida State. Hardy Nickerson was there well after that.
91, was it?
Look who you're talking to. Derek Brooks, Florida State guy.
That was like 95.
It's either 91 or 92 because I never actually saw Derek Brooks play a game at Florida State. And I've been a fan for a long time. You're right. It was 1991. He was born in 1973.
Derek Brooks?
Yes. Oh, wait. Math. Ooh, math's fun.
No.
That was 95.
Yeah, 95.
Who am I thinking of? Marvin Jones.
I was going to say. He was
Marvin
drafted.
Jones.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the other Florida State linebacker.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, I feel pretty sure Hardy Nickerson was there for quite a while without Derek Brooks. Actually, I'm not even sure they were there together. I mean, maybe the first year.
He is older.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
They were like 80.
He was there for a year. You got one whole year with no Derek Brooks. So, yeah, I'm going to say, okay, he was the best one on that team in 93. That won 4 U.S. football games. Yeah, for me, it's so we're in agreement on Sapp and Derek Brooks, right?
Absolutely.
So the contentious is you have Tony Dungy, and who was the other one?
It was Leroy Selman.
Okay, and I had Tom Brady and John Lynch. So I feel like I'm going to put that to a poll because I don't think there's going to be much disagreement on the next team, which is the New Orleans Saints.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, the New Orleans Saints. I mean, it's Drew Brees.
Drew Brees and Sean Payton to me are
end of message. Repeat the line.
And then
I'm going Willie Roaf. I think he's a no-doubter.
No-doubter?
I think he is. 4 greatest New Orleans Saints contributors, players, whatever, of all time. Are you putting Tom Benson up there? Willie Roaf was like he was a Pro Bowler, All-Pro left tackle for a decade.
You're not wrong.
He was the only. He was the thing for that offense because they were terrible.
I don't know. I think it's just hard for me to put an offensive tackle on these things.
Nah, there's some. There's one from Mount Rushmore you and I were talking about earlier today that there's a tackle on. There's going to be some linemen on this because they're just that good. And I think Willie Roaf is a no-doubter for me for New Orleans. And the other one's Ricky Jackson.
Ricky Jackson was a no-doubter for me.
The Dome Patrol was phenomenal. Him and Sam Mills. I always forget the third one. The third linebacker from that group. Anyway.
Pat Swilling.
Yeah, Pat Swilling.
All right.
Yeah,
you know what?
Ricky Jackson.
I can get on board with the Willie Roaf thing. I don't have to love it.
All right, so did you have a different one?
It was Cam Jordan, and now the more I'm saying it, the more I'm like,
I just don't know. I don't. don't think I can. I mean, I would think Marshawn Lattimore would be on that list too. He'd be right there. Maybe I'm just going too old school.
I also seriously considered Sam Mills. It's hard for me to put.
I just couldn't get there because of Ricky. I mean, Ricky was there for longer. I think Sam is a tweener. Like if Sam had been there for 20 years.
Well, and for
sure.
me, I more put him with Carolina than
I
put
do
him
too.
with New Orleans. And for me, outside of high end quarterbacks, it's hard for me to put you on two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Notorious B.I.G., I think he just convinced me. Said Rofe was the Trent Williams of the NFL for 10 years against
Absolutely.
a way tougher competition. All right. You got me.
All right.
He's a Saints fan. I will defer to you. I struggle with offensive linemen, but I think
we're in agreement here. The Mount Rushmore for the New Orleans Saints: Breeze, Peyton, Rofe, and Jackson.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Did you even consider another name? You said those really confidently.
I did not. I mean, Archie Manning.
Oh, they're
not
so
doing that.
bad.
I'm not
then.
doing that.
I considered Marquez Colston. But the problem was he was never like the best receiver in the NFL.
No. You just didn't have that.
And other than that, I don't. It was him, Cam Jordan, a couple others that I just bounced around, but nothing that really knocked me off the pedestal.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals is tonight. Who's Flosterdamus taking? We all know who he's taking. But green on green, the numbers coming up next.
Carolina Closet is on iHeart Access Day. Get a premium finish for your custom storage solution for the price of a basic finish. Up to 30% savings. Use code iHeartUpgrade to get premium finishes for the price of basic during Access Day at Carolina Closet. See store for details.
Bring your team to the indoor sports court at Launch Trampoline Park in Asheville, offering a variety of sports like soccer, flag football, Nerf wars, and more. Use code Access Day for special pricing at Launch Trampoline Park, 24 Walden Drive in Arden, or LaunchTrampolinePark.com.
I want to go to a concert tonight, but the prices are so expensive.
Have you tried Game Time?
What's Game Time?
It's only the hottest ticket app in the country right now. With Game Time, you can score last-minute deals on concerts, games, shows, everything.
Oh, Game Time sounds awesome.
It is.
Today only, go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to get a code for $20 off your first Game Time ticket order. That's $20 off your first ticket order at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
New users only. $150 minimum purchase. Can only be redeemed once. Cannot be combined with any other promo.
Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. We've got incredible one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences for you all day long. You could be joining us, Steve Covino and Rich Davis from Fox Sports Radio's Covino and Rich, for the virtual bachelor party of a lifetime, all part of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win. Today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
Hi, this is Super Bowl champion Brad Johnson, inviting you to join me for the Wicked Weed Brad Johnson Golf Classic, June 13th at the Cliffs at Walnut Cove. This tournament is Evelyn Charity's largest annual fundraiser of the year, and we need your support more than ever. I look forward to seeing you for a great day of golf.
For more information about playing or a sponsorship, go to eblencharities.org, EBLEN charities.org. And we'll see you at beautiful Walnut Cove on June 13th.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Today's the day. It's finally time for the coronation of my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. This ain't hard to figure out. I don't know how people are forgetting how bad Miami was on the road, but let me give you a little refresher course. 17-24 on the road during the regular season. But Hemi's different in the playoffs. Yeah, he wasn't in the last 4 games of that Boston series. He was him for about a week, and then that dissipated. You know who's been him for 3 years? Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, which is who the Heat get to take on tonight. Denver's a 9-point favorite at home, over under 219. Let me deal with the tougher part of this first. 219 seems like a number that Vegas thinks this is going to stay close. There's going to be a lot of scoring, and the game will still be in doubt with 8 minutes to go. I don't believe either of those things, so I'm going aggressively on the under. My final score in this game is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 105-80. Because you don't seem to understand. Denver's been in Denver for 11 days. Miami got there yesterday, 52-80. The altitude is a problem, and this is a depleted Miami roster that had to go to 7 with Boston. So give me under 219. Now, for the line, I think you all know I'm taking Denver to win. I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't think Miami gets a game in this series, and they get to watch Denver hoist that trophy on their home floor. But for tonight, 9's not nearly enough. Nikola Jokic is going to get anything he wants. I do think they'll have a plan for Jamal Murray, but it's just not enough. Denver's so much bigger. You get into Max Struss and Gabe Vincent, and they have to guard somebody that's just way bigger than them. Oh, yeah, and we've played this game twice. 5 starters, 2 games. 1 of them didn't score in double figures, and it was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and he had 8. I don't think this is close. Give me the Nuggets minus the 9. They blow out Miami in Game 1 en route to raising the trophy and making me the Flostradamus that you all know me to be. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Green on Green is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mullet out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Breezy northeast winds continue to keep us in and out of the clouds. There's not much on weather radar, just a stray shower tonight, 55 degrees. I think we'll see some brighter weather Friday, some sunshine, 81, and the chance for some thunderstorms this weekend. First weekend of June, 70s and 80s across western North Carolina. Much of next week looks dry for us. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. The wait is over. Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. 24 hours of incredible, one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences for you. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to check out some of the great specials from our partners and stay tuned for more.
Do you have shoeboxes full of photos? Today only, iHeartRadio Access Day listeners get VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box. Visit iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
We see you. Looking for more access, right? We want you to win 1 year of iHeartRadio All Access at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com and experience your iHeartRadio app like never before. Hear absolutely any song on demand, unlimited skips, listen to your favorite station with 0 commercials, and enjoy full albums from any artist with a single tap. Ultimate access to the iHeartRadio app. Win it now. Plus so much more at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Nuggets have been waiting 47 years to play in the NBA Finals, and they've waited 10 days since their last game. Game 1 against the Heat tonight in Denver, a Miami team that's only 72 hours removed from a Game 7 road win in Boston. Bam Adebayo.
Biggest thing for us is I feel like we're prepared. We've been through so much adversity throughout this season, throughout the playoffs of ups and downs. I feel like we're ready for this moment.
Bam Adebayo, the moment is just about here. Game 1 coverage at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and 8 Eastern on ABC TV. He did unretire once already, but Tom Brady will not play again in the NFL. Brady tells ESPN that becoming a minority owner in the league is a dream come true. He's now a part owner of both the Las Vegas Raiders and the WNBA's Las Vegas Aces. The Penguins hire Kyle Dubas as the team's new president of operations.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's you.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, live in the Ingles studio and heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And don't forget, we are seen as well live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat and you can vote in the polls. And I need more of you to vote in the polls.
Because you're losing aggressively.
Y'all are just out of your minds.
Well,
you're out of your minds.
Well, the only way we can do the polls, you can only pick one. And right now, John Lynch is getting right around 50% of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady getting right around 40% of the vote. And your boy Leroy Selman.
If you're just joining us on the program, we started our series of Mount Rushmores in the NFL by popular demand from the House of Reprehensibles. So the series begins with the NFC South. Last hour, we talked about the New Orleans Saints. Not for long. There was there was quick agreement on the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, it was pretty consensus.
Drew Brees, Sean Payton, those are the no-doubters. Willie Rofe and Ricky Jackson are the other two on the Mount Rushmore for the Saints.
And it took me a minute to get to Willie Rofe because he's offensive tackle.
My Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks, no doubters. They're on everybody's
That was
list.
universal agreement, and I confused Derek Brooks for Marvin Jones, and as a lifelong Jet fan, I have to say I'm sorry.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan of the program had chosen Tony Dungy, who built the Super Bowl team that John Gruden only piggybacked on to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he won it.
Yeah, who cares? And then Leroy Selman.
That's basically what you
who
just
was
said.
the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneer for 30 years.
Basically what you just said is I met a girl at a bar. I bought her 8 drinks, and then she went home with my friend.
Indeed.
And that still means
you
are a loser.
Did I get credit for the groundwork there?
No.
No?
No. That's sad.
Jeremy had John Lynch and Tom Brady, and that is what the House has decided to go with, and y'all are out of your minds. You're completely wrong.
Tom Brady won you a Super Bowl.
I don't care. So did Brad Johnson, and he's not making it.
Yeah, your defense won that Super Bowl. Give me any other player that's not
if we're going that route, it wasn't Tom Brady that beat the snot out of Patrick Mahomes. It was the defense.
Yeah, but he's the one that got you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd Bowles gave you a nice little plan to deal with Pat Mahomes, but the girl that brought you was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And that went exactly how I thought it would. I did think you would get Tony Dungy snuck in there. But apparently, the House of Reprehensibles agrees with me that coffee's for closers, and Tony couldn't close his briefcase.
He could not.
So there's that.
All right, so top of the 4 o'clock hour here, we started with the hometown team, the Carolina Panthers.
I'm going to make some of you very angry.
This one was super easy for me.
It's not for me.
And I don't know why.
Okay, we'll start with the no-doubters.
Okay.
My number one was Steve Smith.
Okay. He's not on mine, so no.
You are horribly intoxicated. Oh, I know what you're doing. Yeah, you're putting Jerry Richardson.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The guy who brought football to the state of North Carolina, he's on the list. And
he was on my list.
I'm sorry,
6.
people don't like the way that it ended, but
I got it. I understand. That's not why I didn't have him up there. There were for me, there were 4 players, and it took me a minute to get to one of them because Steve Smith was my no doubt one. No doubt, didn't think about it for 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Julius Peppers was my 2. He's the greatest defensive player in the history of the team.
Absolutely.
Luke Kuechly was my 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to this point, and I know there's a name that I have not said.
Of course there is.
But then the question gets into, okay, so what are we talking about here? Are we talking about most influential?
Yep.
Are we talking about best player?
Yep.
Because if we're talking best player, I don't know that I could. It would be Jordan Gross for me because he was a better player than Cam Newton. I know that's who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking best player, Jordan Gross is a better player. I don't even know that that's debatable.
Okay.
I mean, and anybody that wants to argue that with me.
Consistency, long-term career, yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, one of them played
He's not making it, though.
Yeah, one of them played a real long time and was an elite left tackle in this league.
The fact that Cam Newton was not the first name out of your mouth is astounding to me.
Because if you take away that one MVP year, outside of
he was
that,
the most electrifying player in the sport.
That's not even kind of true.
Are you out of your mind?
He was a mediocre quarterback outside of 1 year.
No
one
put the Carolina Panthers on the map like Cam Newton.
Now,
the
if
only
that's
one,
what you're talking about, then I'm
of
looking
course
at.
That's what we're talking about.
I'm looking at, to me, if you're not okay, you had 1 year. Other than that, you were not great. As evidenced by the entire league's looked at you for 3 years and go, no, we're good.
But who cares? He won him. He won him an NFC championship. He won an MVP, something nobody else has ever done.
Hold on. Your argument here is maddeningly inconsistent.
Okay.
So Ron Rivera is he's a replacement level coach.
Absolutely.
He should be in the XFL.
Absolutely.
If you look at the careers of Ron Rivera and Cam Newton, they are eerily similar.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you had a lot of 7-9, 6-10, 5-8-1, 6-8, 6-8, 0-2, 7-8, 0-5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you had 3.
And is that because of Cam? Is that because of Ron Rivera's, not so keen coaching style? Is that because, I don't know, Marty Herney and David Gettleman were the biggest buffoons in the history of the NFL?
Oh, but okay, so that is enough to just completely. That gets heaped on Cam Newton, but we rank coaches. Last show we did. Ron Rivera is a moron, and I don't understand how he's still a coach in this league. Cam Newton is the Ron Rivera of quarterbacks, and it's really kind of hard for you to tell me he's not. He played 11 years.
Greatest quarterback in Panthers history. It's Cam Newton, and it's not close.
He had the greatest year. I will say that. He had the greatest year. He had the greatest longevity.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at him historically,
in the seats, had the number one selling jersey,
and
had
I don't care about any of that.
Commercial that no Carolina Panther ever had.
Tim Tebow was in top 5 of selling jerseys. I could care less about that.
You
he
have
was awful.
though. You have to care about that. You have to care about that in the terms of the greatest impact on the franchise, and no one had it like Cam Newton.
And I said, when you put it that way, I can't disagree with you.
Right.
I'm just looking at a guy that played 11 years. He was the no doubt unquestioned starter 9 times. Led the NFL in turnovers, 6 of them. So maybe lose me on how electric. He's the most electric player in the sport. Yeah, for every defense he played, they loved him. My God, he's going to give it to us twice. I guarantee you, your Mount Rushmore probably loved playing against Cam Newton. Give me Cam Newton. He loves to make us look good.
Sure.
But I can't disagree when you get into putting the franchise on the map.
Thank you. there are Carolina Panthers fans today that never would have been Carolina Panther fans had it not been for Cam Newton.
I do love when I say anti-Cam Newton things in the chat. Just goes crazy. Jeremy's hatred of Cam Newton. No, he's just probably the most overrated player in my lifetime. And that makes Panther fans angry. You just get real in your feelings about that. And I've long had a rule. Thou doth protest too much. And that tells me that there's something in the back of your head telling me, he's right. He is the most overrated player of my lifetime, and I don't think it's even close. Can you give me one that's even in the ballpark?
Oh, yeah, Tim Tebow.
He lasted 2 years, and he was a punt protector for the Jets for one of them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, vastly overrated.
Yeah, but that's like a very niche group of – there's like 8 dudes going, Tim Tebow can still play quarterback in the NFL. And you can identify them very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They start talking, and you go, man, you haven't taken a breath in a minute. Calm down. I am not a Cam Newton guy. I think we all know that. But with your prefacing it with putting butts in the seats and jersey sales, okay.
I do love that my wife is watching the show right now, and she's using my son's Facebook account to comment.
Yes! That is awesome!
She says, I don't usually agree with Jeremy, but yeah, I can't stand Cam Newton. I get it. You can't stand him, and I couldn't stand him either.
But for me, it's not even because I can't stand him. The act is tired, but that's not really what I'm arguing. What I'm arguing is name me a quarterback that's ever been that mediocre, that's been that revered. Okay, we got
Eli Manning.
2 Super Bowls. And a message, repeat the line. If he didn't have 2 Super Bowls, he'd be, hey, you remember when we drafted that bum ahead of Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger?
Exactly.
Super Bowls make you smart. Mm-hmm. That's just they make you good.
There's no doubt
That's
about
how it works.
No
Cam
doubt
has
it.
0 of those. Mm-hmm. He sniffed 1. Other than that, it was a whole lot of, hey, look, we went 12-4 and got matered in the playoffs. I struggle with the Cam Newton thing.
To me, again, I don't think
he was your one, wasn't he?
Absolutely, he's the one. He's the one. Kuechly's the 2.
Okay, all right.
Julius Peppers is the 3.
All right, let me walk this back and see if maybe I can make you understand my rationale.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If there was a rule that only one player in a franchise's history could be in the Hall of Fame, who is it?
From the Carolina Panthers?
Yes.
Julius Peppers.
Who's 2?
Luke.
Who's 3? It's Steve Smith. It's Steve Smith.
Really?
He's 7th all-time in receiving yards.
Over Jordan?
Yeah. Okay.
Over Jordan Gross?
All right. You want to go down that rabbit hole? I'll agree with you.
Right.
Steve's 4.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Cam ain't in the top 5.
Cam's not in the top 5, and
Cam
I agree
in the
with
top
that.
5. And see, that's where I struggle is, okay, so he put butts in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be a little unpopular with Panther fans. That has a very little brother, man, could you just talk about us on ESPN one time? Because we got this quarterback who is not any good, but he's really polarizing. And everybody has an opinion on it. Doesn't mean he's ain't good. And that's the problem I had with him forever is the argument I just made to you. He's not even close to a Hall of Famer, and I think Carolina's had 5, and I could argue a 6th one. Because we hadn't even said Thomas Davis' name yet.
True.
And I'm not sure he wouldn't be ahead of a slew of the guys that we've already said.
McCaffrey'd be on that list.
Yeah, but he wasn't there long enough.
Really?
I mean,
it was 6, 7 years?
I believe it was year 6 when he got traded.
Okay. I mean, that's long enough, isn't it? I mean, you're trying to put Tom Brady on the Tampa Bay one, and he was only there 3 years. I get it.
Tom won a Super Bowl.
I get it.
McCaffrey, and I'll be honest with you, you could have convinced me on Christian McCaffrey. I'll be honest with you. I'd have Christian McCaffrey up there long before I had Cam Newton. He was the best player in the NFL at his position for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Benny Wise in our YouTube comment said, I'd have CMC over Newton. Fight me. I'm getting no argument out of me because I'm not sure that you're not 100% right. No. And we didn't even mention him until 60 seconds ago.
Again, that's one that I feel like that was 2 really great years, and then you had injury-riddled 3 seasons, and I mean, I get it. Love Christian McCaffrey. He's the best running back in the game when he's available. But I don't feel like that went as swimmingly as everybody makes it out to be.
Well, he had 2 injury-riddled years.
Okay, 2 injury-riddled years. Excuse me.
And other than that, he hadn't missed a game in the other 4 years of his career. He was in Carolina for 5 years.
They ran the wheels off of him. It was the 5th year
when he got.
They ran the wheels off of him. And
I don't know.
Now he's healthy and hopefully going to win a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers.
Especially in the NFL. He sold tickets. Everybody sells tickets. It's in the NFL, okay? The Jets season ticket holder list is 27 years long. Everybody sells tickets. I don't care, but fine. I'll acquiesce to Cam Newton.
Jerry Richardson was the 4 for me.
So you had Cam, Steve, Julius Peppers, Jerry Richardson?
Yes. Steve Smith on the outside looking in.
Well, I said Steve. Who was the one that you had that I didn't say? Keekly.
It's Keekly, Peppers, Cam, Jerry.
Yeah, see, I can't knock off Peppers, Steve Smith, or Luke Keekly. They have to be in. So I guess that's the 4. Those 3 and Cam Newton.
You're in the sports office.
Man, Bryce Young, please be good, so I never have to say Cam Newton's name again for the rest of my life.
This is ESPN Asheville, NFC South, Mount Rushmore. This is fun. I like this little exercise.
This was a brilliant idea, whoever came up with it.
This is going to be very, very fun as we continue the installments in future shows. We've only got about 14 minutes left with you here on today's program. Jeremy, that's why his hair looks all slick back, because he's got official things to do today, so we're cut short at 4:30. But when we come back from the break, we'll wrap up today's show with the final Mount Rushmore in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving stop and go, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays between Brevard Road and the French Broad River. 40 westbound in Haywood County is stop and go between exit 27 and NC 209. Airport Road between I-26 and Hendersonville Road is stop and go due to an accident. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sardis Road north and southbound delays between Brevard Road and Sand Hill Road due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. Today is the day. iHeartRadio Access Day has arrived. We've got some amazing deals and unique experiences waiting for you. So check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry is bringing iHeartRadio Access Day to you. How about 17% off Botox or save $100 off your first syringe of filler with code ILikeBigLips. Look for these deals and more at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Want the best burger in America? Culver's was voted #1 burger in America by the Harris Poll. Get 2 Culver's Double Deluxe Butter Burgers for only $8 with Access Day code voted America's best burger when ordering. Valid at Culver's on Airport Road.
You've probably been hearing us talking about it for a while now, but today it's here. It's our iHeartRadio Access Day. Are you ready to experience these one-of-a-kind deals from our partners, all these unique experiences? Very cool. Check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now.
You could experience everything the free iHeartRadio app has to offer with a 1-year subscription to iHeartRadio All Access.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win. Today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Introducing Swiffer's Best Clean, the new Swiffer Power Mop. It's an all-in-one cleaning system that gives you the scrubbing power of a mop and bucket without the hassle. And today only, you could win a year's supply of Swiffer Power Mop. Just go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to enter. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com for your chance to win a year's supply of the new Swiffer Power Mop, so you can clean your home in half the time. Mop smarter with the new Swiffer Power Mop.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Closing out an early show today. Jeremy going to be hosting the awards banquet for the APD tonight, along with News No Mark Starling.
Mullet MC, let's go.
So we're going to have to bounce out of here in about 10 minutes so he can get to the festivities tonight. Back with a full show for you tomorrow, though, on a Football Friday. Well, yeah, we'll do some more of these Mount Rushmores. We'll have to talk some basketball because Game 1 of the NBA Finals is tonight, depending on how bad the beatdown is for the Denver Nuggets over the Miami Heat in Game 1.
Yeah, if Denver loses, I have to wash my hair.
There's going to be some – you're going to have to eat some of those birds that you've said are not real.
Government drones.
Eating a little crow after Game 1. But – we shall see how that plays out tonight. 8:30 is the tip-off for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Heat at the Nuggets. So we're going through the series here of Mount Rushmores for every NFL team. Today we're doing the NFC South. We will continue this in the coming days and weeks. The Atlanta Falcons.
We're going to argue about one
100%.
I can feel it coming.
100% we're going to argue about this.
Number one is...
For the Atlanta Falcons?
Yes.
It's Deion Sanders.
I don't agree with you, but he's in my top 3. And it makes me angry that I want to argue with you more vehemently, but I get it. He was the first one that put him on the map. Okay, I get it.
The most recognizable player in Atlanta Falcons franchise history.
But he's not the best player in franchise history because he wasn't there long enough.
Yeah.
He bounced around the league. Mm-hmm. Everybody forgets that.
He went San Francisco, Dallas. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Now, he is my 3. For me, 1 and 2 are not even debatable, and I find it to be genuinely awe-inspiring that they're not universally. It's Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. End of message, repeat the line.
Agreed.
You had them 2 and 3, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to argue about that.
Julio was 2. Matt Ryan was 3.
I'm going to use your own words against you.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan is what you were sold Cam Newton was. He got you to the Super Bowl once, but he was way more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Not even kind of close.
Agreed.
Now, so we've agreed on the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
Disagree on the order. It's fine. It's still the same faces. There's no real order. Who's your 4?
It's Michael Vick.
That is the most insane thing I think I've ever heard somebody say.
But why?
Because he wasn't good. He was Cam Newton without the MVP year.
He wasn't good. Just wasn't good.
Name me the one thing. Hold on. We're going to play Price is Right.
Okay.
Closest to the nearest percentage point without going over. I'm not going to say a word until you get this right. What was the highest completion percentage Michael Vick ever had?
58%. 57%. Am I going too high or too low?
You're still not low enough.
54.
56.4.
Okay.
That's the best he ever was. That is genuinely awful. I didn't even consider Michael Vick. Sloan Jordan said it in the chat. If he's your one, you're out of your mind. If he's on the list, I think you might be heavily intoxicated. He went in my top 10.
That's insane.
I had Jamal Anderson ahead of him.
Which is wrong.
Well, one of them got you to a Super Bowl. One of them didn't. Michael Vick is probably the only name that I would be willing to listen to as more overrated in the last 25 years than Cam Newton. He was good in Seattle in Philadelphia for an hour.
A good passer of the football.
He wasn't that electric.
Are you serious?
They were awful. Do you know what their record was?
Michael Vick was the hardest player to defend in football for 3 years.
On Madden. Yeah, it really didn't seem to confound that many of NFL defensive coordinators because he won 11 games exactly one time and was barely above 500 any other year of his career. That to me is one of those things. I'll go. It's birds. Everybody has told you that that's true, so it becomes true in spite of the fact that it's not close. Michael Vick was 2004 Justin Fields, who we have raked over hot coals on this show. They're the same guy. Literally, there is not one stat that you could give me that Justin Fields doesn't beat Michael Vick. Oh, but it's a different game. It's a different game because what Michael Vick tried to do and failed horribly. My 4 was a little difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I had a few that I considered.
Mm-hmm.
Roddy White.
That would have been a great one.
Jesse Tuggle.
Okay.
It was a little that was back in the day.
That's a little deep divey, but okay.
It is. It was back in the day. John Abraham.
Okay.
He had the most sacks in the NFL in the 7 years he played in Atlanta. He led the NFL in sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I settled on one, and I'm fully expecting some pushback.
Are you about to drop Tommy Nobis on me?
Nope. About to drop Tony Gonzalez on you.
Tony Gonzalez. Okay.
And at the end of the day, he's still the greatest tight end that ever lived, and he did play 5 years in Atlanta.
Sure.
And he was very good in
I
Atlanta.
can't believe he played 5 years in Atlanta.
Be honest with you, I was a little shocked at that.
Tony Gonzalez, looking back on it, obviously, I remember. But off the top of my head, I go, Tony Gonzalez, he never played in Atlanta. Oh, wait, yeah, he did. For 5 seconds. He was the greatest tight end of all time when he was in Kansas City. Then he goes to Atlanta. I'm not saying he went to Atlanta and just pooed his pants. I mean, he was still unbelievable. But I completely forget about that section of his career.
Would you feel better if it was Roddy White?
Absolutely.
Because he was there for much longer.
Absolutely.
And the only thing that bothers me there is that I have one quarterback and 2 receivers from basically the same era.
And I don't think that's wrong. I mean, think back to the Tampa Bay that we did. You had 3 guys from the same defense and the coach, or at least for me.
Yeah, you got a good point there. DNA Tooth Podcast, I got to hit on this because I understand the argument. I just vehemently disagree with what you said here. Jeremy, I understand the Cam argument, but Vic was the best player in football for 2 years and arguably changed the game of football.
Mm-hmm.
The last sentence you said there was totally accurate. The middle sentence you said there was not even close to accurate. He was never the best player in football. He was the most fun to watch. He was the most fun to play with in Madden. But NFL coordinators figured out about 2 years in the league, all I have to do is keep him in the pocket. When he became the Michael Vick that I think all of you remember, that's the only thing I can figure out is that he just never hit what you thought he would be. So you're stuck on the athleticism and the freak of nature and all those things. He was never that player. Never. But then he had that year in Philadelphia with Andy Reid where Andy Reid figured out, oh, there's a way for me to do this where you can't keep him in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was phenomenal. Atlanta, he was never a good thrower of the football. He could run a lot. And that's fine. That doesn't put you on Mount Rushmore for me. James Rorick, I really hope I said that correctly. Please let me know in the chat. If I didn't, he said Warwick Dunn over Michael Vick. I had Warwick Dunn over Michael Vick. He was on my list higher. He was in the others receiving votes.
I get it. That's also another one that I go, wait, he played in Atlanta? Oh, yeah, he did. He did.
Quite a while, actually.
Oh, yeah, he played much longer there than he did in Tampa Bay, but,
All right, I'll settle on Roddy White. He was there for longer. So
okay.
Roddy, Julio, Dion, Matt Ryan. okay with that.
That's a list I can live with.
As long as Michael Vick wasn't on that list, you could have put Morton Anderson on it. I think I would agree with you.
It's actually not a bad idea. Maybe we should have put Morton on there.
It's the only kicker that's worth talking about. Let's go.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We will continue the series of NFL Mount Rushmores coming up tomorrow on the program. Yes, we will have all of your instant reactions from the NBA Finals as well, and who knows what news is going to break. Will DeAndre Hopkins find a place to live between now and then? Who knows? It is all coming up for you tomorrow at 3 o'clock right here on ESPN Asheville. Have a great afternoon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Breezy northeast winds continue to keep us in and out of the clouds. There's not much on weather radar, just a stray shower tonight, 55 degrees. I think we'll see some brighter weather Friday, some sunshine, 81, and the chance for some thunderstorms this weekend. First weekend of June, 70s and 80s across western North Carolina. Much of next week looks dry for us. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound slowing on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound stop and go between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 26 eastbound crawling east of Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road due to an accident. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road, slow, and 40 westbound stop and go between NC 215 and NC 209. An accident has the left lane blocked at exit 27 in this stretch. Sardis Road, north and southbound, slow between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road, northbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. It's finally here. iHeartRadio Access Day has arrived. If you've been waiting for some amazing deals and unique experiences, today is your day. So make sure to check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
Temu.com, that's TEMU.com, is giving you an exclusive opportunity to unlock a $100 spending spree on their app today only on iHeartRadio Access Day.